All right, so good evening. Slightly just a little earlier than the evening here in India, and definitely it's I think 6 past there for you in Singapore. Welcome, Daphne. So
Yes,
so grateful for you to have joined us today evening with a group,
thank
a
you.
bunch of young 60, 50 plus odd here in a small place in Goa in India. So quickly, I'm happy to welcome Daphne Huang Vargas with here amidst today. And she is a medical doctor, a mother of two, and we just heard at how she juggles classes, one after the other, and she has to rush one after this as well. And she is an extremely, extremely talented flamenco artist. She is not only the director, but she is one of the company dancers in her company, dance company called Flamenco Sin Fronteras. I hope I pronounced that. I tried to make it as authentic as possible. And she is running a dance company in Singapore. So, Daphne, a cool welcome because I'm sure it's hot here and in Singapore as well. A very cool welcome to you amidst us today. We would love to hear from
Thank
you.
you.
Over to your words.
Okay. Welcome everybody. It's nice to meet all of you online. I'm very happy that you have asked me to do this. Basically, I run a flamenco school and company from Singapore. Singapore is actually, as you know, a very small country, and it's not somewhere that is known for flamenco. But because of my husband who came here around 15 years ago, we met, and actually I was just taking workshops from him. So this I'm just telling the story about how I set up the company. About 15 years ago, I was still not so still a young doctor at that time. Um, and I was looking for something to pursue my health. I mean, or like a hobby actually, more like a hobby. And when I was younger in my university, I liked dance, but obviously I didn't encounter flamenco. Flamenco is very foreign to our culture actually in Singapore. I've never seen any flamenco dancing. I've never been to Spain. There were no flamenco troops that came to Singapore, so actually I've never seen it before, honestly. Um, when I was younger, I only went to the clubs or discos, as you all know it, to dance, and that was my kind of knowledge of dancing. So I was looking for something to do as a hobby, actually, that you can relax to do after work. And I tried a few things. I tried ballroom dancing. I tried salsa. Actually, I did Argentinian tango even. Um, but then there was a school here that was no, there was an article first that was talking about flamenco that intrigued me. So it said how flamenco was a very strong and passionate dance, and how is a very individualistic dance. So actually, I didn't know what flamenco was. So after reading this article, I was quite curious about this art form because of the way they described it in the article. And there was this school here at that time, Dance Circle Studios, was teaching Spanish dance and flamenco. So that's how I got started about 18 years ago, 15 to 17 years ago. And at that time, I just started learning, and very soon we were invited to optional if you want to take a workshop in New Norcia, Perth. So I met my husband. He was the master teacher there. And when I went there, I was quite away by everything I saw, because before that in Singapore, we didn't really have a flamenco culture, or we didn't have people who knew a lot of flamenco. We didn't see a flamenco show before. Flamenco actually comes with live. Later, when you see the video, you understand what I mean. It comes with a background of life, like many of your Indian dances come with a raw, I mean, the backing of live musicians. So we didn't appreciate that all that interaction between musician and dancers, etc., were all part of the camp. At that time, I didn't know that was like that. So in New Norcia, I got a glimpse of what flamenco was really about. And of course, I was very green. I know I couldn't. I mean, I could dance only a little bit at that time, but it was very inspiring. And after that, my friend who was a higher level me at that a higher level than me at that time, um, invited Antonio, my husband, to come to Singapore to give workshops when he passes through the next year. And that's how I met Antonio, like, more when he came through to Singapore. And also then he also came to teach us. And then after that, Antonio and I got together. Now we have two children. So Antonio settled down in Singapore. And slowly we tried to form a school, and we tried some company. It was not easy because there was no much flamenco at that time. But slowly also Singapore started to bring some flamenco shows from overseas. And also through our own company, slowly we tried to get money to bring in musicians, guitarists from Spain, or invite like master besides Antonio, who also taught us on a very high level. Invite other Spanish flamenco artists from Spain to give us workshops, so that our level will be higher, or we'll be more exposed to what it is. And then, of course, at that time, some of our own students, or the people who were learning, also started going to Spain to learn. So all this together came together and build up our flamenco level in general. And slowly we were accepted. At first, I think our own arts council didn't really think that we were worth supporting either. But after they saw what we could do, so now we actually are fairly supported. At least when we have projects, we apply for grants through our own arts council, and we do receive funding to do certain projects, and that's how we put up certain types of productions. Then the theatre, and later the dance film that we just did. All these were generally funded by the arts council. Yeah, so that's how I started. That's how my journey.
Wow, this is the making and ingredients of a fairy tale. There's dance and art, and there was love as well. And Antonio came down to Singapore, and how fortunate is that? Not only did you were able to make a lovely family with Antonio, and I think, of course, you pursued learning, and he shared and he spread this lovely art form in Singapore. I'm actually quite envious. But I believe that's where your company comes in. So Daphne, tell us something about Flamenco Sin Fronteras. What does it mean, and when did you exactly start, and why bring the school in Singapore, which is so different in culture, and what's your goal?
Okay. So the word Flamenco Sin Fronteras actually is a Spanish word, which actually means flamenco without borders. So exactly what it meant, because our company is starting from somewhere outside of Spain. Although, I mean, of course, Antonio has lived in Spain for a long time. So, but then the people who started it, which was me and some friends, we are outside of Spain, and we didn't grow up with the flamenco culture. So we were truly out, like, you know, um, starting from out of the borders. But we also wanted to show that the flamenco could cross borders, and that's why we call it flamenco without borders. Cross borders in many ways. We In learning the flamenco, we started also to bring or connect flamenco to our own culture, or other cultures, or other art forms. Example, we have done several things with flamenco and Indian dance, actually, both kata and Bharatanatyam we've done flamenco with choral music. We've done flamenco with a drama, as we told flamenco stories, and had actresses, and the drama director put some, I mean, with Antonio, put it together for us. And we even done flamenco, something called elements, Chinese elements. So we even done flamenco with Chinese instruments, like, the pipa, kucheng, and all this. We also put flamenco music, and that is also the one part is the cultural borders, like what I explained. But other part of the borders also meant that the borders about your color, your race, your age, your size, or I know whatever. For us is since we're not Spanish or Gypsy, so that is, and then also we wanted to extend it to other people, like people who are older, or who think that they can't dance because they have bad joints, or who or we also do some work with Singapore's Association for Mental Health, or to help with those with some mental issues and things like that, or explore using flamenco to explore certain mental issues, etc., etc. And also we wanted to say that flamenco, one thing about flamenco is compared to, I'm not saying that all dance forms, but maybe some other dance forms have a little bit more stereotype, like you can't be too fat, to dance. I mean, I'm just being very blunt, but like they think that if you're too fat you can't dance this, if you think you're too short you cannot dance, or you're too this you cannot dance. But in flamenco in general, it's accepted that you can dance flamenco even at a very good level, despite being short or fat or thin, or whatever, or young or old, actually.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And the fact is, I think all performing arts should be like that. It's embracing
Yeah.
everybody and cutting across through, as you said, race and culture. And it's amazing that the frontiers that you are breaking through. And actually, it's quite amazing that the Arts Council in Singapore is actually supporting you. I think this is one of the biggest blessings ever. To really, really, and we'll continue to pray that you grow from strength to strength. Uh,
Thank
in how many years has it been, may I ask, for the company, dancing company?
Oh, okay. So, when we started, of course, like the story with Antonio, we didn't form the company straight away. I mean, we were just trying to grow a flamenco community, or even just run classes or workshops to, to gather people to want to know about flamenco. So it was not about the like a company and doing productions yet, or doing more things. But as we went along, and some of us got better, and there was a pool of people who could dance flamenco at least at a fairly decent level. Then we started wanting to put things together, and then because we want to put things together, we also wanted, like I said, although we do a lot of traditional flamenco, we wanted to use flamenco to tell stories, or tell um, our first production was called Cinco Sueños. That was when our company was not even registered yet. That was the time that I made the name Flamenco Sin Fronteras. Because Cinco Sueños were meant 5 dreams, and we wanted to use the 5 of us. I was one of the 5, for us to create our own stories through flamenco. Yeah. So maybe I was like, one of the dancers was talking about searching for love. So we made a mini story with flamenco about that. Another dancer had another issue, conflict between her work and dance, or parts of it. So we made different stories for different people, and because of that, wanting flamenco to do more than just the pure, I mean, just the dance, we decided to call our informal group at that time Flamenco Sin Fronteras. And after we called our informal group Flamenco Sin Fronteras, more things came, right? We had more the momentum build up, so we had more opportunities to perform and things like that. And then at one point when we decided to put a real production on stage called The House, our first time we did a big drama on we are debating whether we want to formalize this informal name by forming a company, a non-profit company, and then to tap Arts Council grants to do bigger projects. So that's how we started, and that was in 201. Okay, end of 2011 we registered the company, and 2013 we did our first project on stage, like a big one, under the formal company.
Wow. Where there is a will, Miss Daphne, there is a way. All the best to you. Wow. We can see that passion really, really shines through. Um, So moving on to, we came across a video that I shared with my seniors, that you, and
Mhm.
you mentioned that you are also doing a lot of causes for those with mental
Yes.
health problems. So what is Chronicles of Life, and how do you think it benefits, where I think a lot of seniors are involved? How do you think flamenco, out of all dance art, will benefit seniors in any way?
Okay. So actually when we performed, we found that actually a lot of seniors and older people in general um really like the dance, like they really identify. It's not only the dance, because there's also the live music, so it's also about the music, the guitar, the singing, and everything that comes together, and they really liked it. But the one thing they will say is that I will not cannot dance like that, because when they see the fast footwork and and all that, they think it is too much for them to actually do it themselves. Although they love it, they feel that they cannot do it, because like if I'm start now when I'm 60 or something like that, and my joints are, some of them have arthritis, some of them have osteoarthritis on knees, some of them can't stand for too long and things like that. So they are the people who I teach now. That's the reality. So then we decided that no, like, well, you might not be able to do the fast footwork now, but there are other parts of flamenco that you still can do, that you don't have to do all this fast footwork and things like that. So then we decided to come up with a modified program that we pitch. Actually, the Chronicles of Life was something that was pitched to the um, arts. I mean, our Singapore Arts Council Festival that was called Silver Arts Festival. So I pitched a project called Chronicles of Life to them. Basically, having people, mainly uh, 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 slightly older people, male or female, who were generally never exposed to flamenco, um, to introduce flamenco to them. So we decided to introduce three forms, because actually flamenco, there are many forms. Forms means many types of music. So decided to get a range. We introduced three forms, and since it was not a very long project, I think it was only about 3 months. We decided that it was not about too much technicality, because anyway, not even for people who are older, even for us, like takes us a long time to learn the form properly. So we decided it was not so much about technicality in a 3 month project, but more about experiencing and exposing the form. So we wanted to merge the form. Three, we chose the three different types of palo. Palos means the music, and we paired them with things that we wanted to bring out, that were parallel with that they could identify with, express through the forms. So example, in one of the dances or the songs that was very freestyle and very melancholic and very sad, we exposed the song, and then we asked the participants what they felt, because they never heard this song before, and they really all felt the things. A lot of them said loss, a lot of them said grief, a lot of them said, pain or something like that after hearing the song. And then we tried to mime with their own stories, because it will come out in a documentary and a live performance, their own stories of. And then so it became a sharing session of different people telling us how they identify the song with something personal that happened to them. Some of them would be the loss of their parent or something like that. Some of them would might with some feeling the empty nest syndrome, because a lot of them, their children have grown up and they are mainly left more alone nowadays, and things like that. One person was what about her struggles with coping with her mom who has dementia. So all these stories came up, and then we asked them to use the music and then improvise, or come up, or of course with guidance, come up with movements that express this. So that was like example one type of exercise. Then there were other types that was more rhythmic, that was about about coming together, doing the hand clapping, doing in a circle, dancing together, and that was about celebrating, coming together as a community, in joy. So then that was another part of the project. You know what I mean? So there were different parts of it. We wanted to show us a range for that particular project called Chronicles of Life. So anyway, in this working with the seniors, so what we did is we de-emphasize the idea of like having, in fact, some of them, the ones that I teach, a lot of them are 60 to 70 plus. A lot of them can't stand for too long, so we will modify the program. We have a lot of the program just sitting down and doing the exercises sitting down, and then those who can stand, I mean, then we stand up for a while, and then sometimes we sit down again. So we modify, and we don't do things that are too rigorous, on the joints and things like that, but more about still using all the limbs, still about coordinating. So actually that helps them because, to loosen your joints, to coordinate, but also to express your emotion, to feel the music and things like that.
I can see why, because so essentially it's been very therapeutic for the seniors in doing flamenco, and it helps them to express. Because I'm not surprised, because flamenco per se, if you just even happen to watch your dance or even dances which are available, they're all very expressive. Even in your video, I
Yeah.
think in short time we'll share. But coming quickly, the last set of the question, the main question, three parts to it.
Okay.
Where did flamenco originate? We know Spain, but where does it originate? How has it evolved? Secondly, what are the different? Are there many kinds of flamenco of the same art, or there's only one flamenco style? And what all is it there to flamenco? Because you said the clap, the baila, I don't know. So all up to you. So this is it. What is flamenco?
Okay. Okay. So flamenco is the origins actually are not like uh 100% written on the books. So flamenco started in Andalusia. That's the origin. Andalusia is the south of Spain. However, in the south of Spain, flamenco is also something that doesn't come from a pure art form. Like example, Indian dance obviously must come from India. Chinese dance comes from China, right? Like long, long time ago. But flamenco, the unique part of flamenco is actually not that old. Like Indian dance is at least 5,000 years old, right? Like okay. Flamenco is only around 200 years old, plus minus. So it's actually not a very old art form. And the second thing is it's an art form that is not from a single culture. It's quite obvious it's not from a single culture. Although it's from Spain, it's not a Spanish like pure Spanish. Like folk Spanish. Maybe folk Spanish is pure Spanish, but flamenco is more than folk Spanish. So, flamenco is always thought to be related to the gypsies, the gypsies who settled down in Spain. And as you know, most gypsies, the origin are from northern India. Yeah, northern India. So yeah, flamenco has Indian roots. That's why there's a lot of Indian and flamenco things happening nowadays. So it's thought that the gypsies traveled, migrated, right? I think from North India, like I can't remember which century, like long, long ago, and many of them settled down as they pass through. But there's a group that actually uh, went into the south of Spain, and they settled down there. But at that time in Spain, there was not only gypsies there, because at that time Spain was a very rich melting pot. There was always Andalusian folk. Andalusian Spanish folk is actually very rich. Apparently, there are a few hundred types of Spanish folk dance and music. So actually, Spanish folk is a very very rich culture by itself. But on top of Spanish folk, in Andalusia especially, there was Moorish people there, because Andalusia was conquered by the Moors. So there was Arabic influence. So there were basically Muslims there, and Jews. There were many Jews living in Andalusia at the time, and at that time people could live side by side. So it was a really melted. And the gypsies came, so there was a very mixed culture. There were synagogues. There were Muslims, then there were also Catholics and etc. And then there were the gypsies from India. But they think that flamencos came only when about mainly due to the at a time where there was a persecution of of everybody, actually, Jews, the Moors, and the and the Gypsies. As you know, in Spain there was something called the Spanish Inquisition, where at that time they wanted to unify the country to be one religion, and there were many parts like Andalusia, which was not one religion. There were many religions. So the Moors and the Jews mainly left Spain. So that's the time when a lot of Jews and Moors left Spain, especially Andalusia. The Gypsies, uh, because they traveled and they always, they are like nomadic types of people. So they tried to stay, many tried to stay. And then when they stayed, they actually will change their surname. They will be forced to change their surnames, and they were forced to convert. And also at that time, they persecuted the Jews and the Moors and the Gypsies. So the Gypsies were persecuted. They were sent to hard labor. In fact, the word flamenco, one of the thoughts about the origin of the word, meant wandering undesirables. Yeah, undesirables, because really at that time the gypsies were not highly regarded by the rest of the Spanish people and the government and the king. They were lowly regarded. In fact, they were not given citizenship. They were thought of as, like undesirable outcasts and things like that. So that was the kind of thing. So, and a lot of the, in Grenada there are all these caves and all these things that's famous if you go there. And that's because they thought that at that time the people who had to hide, maybe some Jews and Moors also had to hide, but I think in mainly the gypsies were the ones who stayed behind, and mainly the Jews and the Moors fled Spain. So they hid in those caves. That's why they are famous now, the caves of Granada, for them to hide there. So the people actually went to hiding as well. So it was at that time that they thought that the culture of flamenco came about, and they started with only singing, because singing was a way to express themselves. So the first thing flamenco came out was singing. Then after that, when the instrument, the guitar, and it's expert, and probably the second thing probably was the clapping, that means putting singing to rhythm. Some of the singing was freestyle, some was it to rhythm. Then after that, the music came, the guitars came to accompany the singing. Then the dance came. So at that time, early on, flamenco was never meant to be on stage, was never meant to be a spectacle for people to watch. Not when it first started. It was really in families. Is for them to express themselves. When they're singing a sad song, it's for them to express their sadness or anger or frustration. And when they sang happy songs, it's for them to get together and, what I mean, like to celebrate together. It was later, I think it's 1940s, 50s, that they started to have flamenco for tourists, and they started to have flamenco to entertain other people, which were mainly to okay. So when gypsies sang a dance among themselves, they danced like families. They danced for each other. It was not like a show that people had to pay for and sit down, you know what I mean. So it was only later when the other people were attracted to this art form, that it became a bit more formalized, that they were paid to dance and sing for entertainment for other people, and to get paid for that. And then of course, then there was a point that the tourist things came in, that tourists were very curious, and then they became at some point even a little bit commercial, because there became a lot of commercial places where people would just pay and the gypsies would just dance. Sometimes not so much of the pure thing anymore, but I mean, not that it's not pure, it's just that it became more like, like just to perform, instead of the way where they really sang to express something very deep, or really dance to feel something very deep inside, because that's what it started as. And then of course, apparently is at one point was very commercial, so some of the masters or the people who were very knowledgeable in Spain wanted to clamp down on this commercial and tried to make it more authentic. So then there's another revolution that happened, and some of the masters, started to form shows that were more authentic and not so commercial, like just for the tourists and things like that. And then from there, it many I think it really grew because many other countries came to learn this form and took it back to their homes, including like Japan, US, a lot of Europe took it back to home. And so it kept growing like that. And nowadays, from where that traditional happens, I think because I told you it's not a pure art form, it's an evolving art form. And as it evolved, they took on like Latin sounds. People who, yeah, because like Latin music, South America is also very rich. So they could merge Latin sounds to the flamenco. And then now it's like merging other modern sounds, jazz with flamenco. There's even like a group with rock and flamenco. So the things keep, and also not that's in the music form, but in the dance form, also from a more contained type of dance, they also started to use like more contemporized ideas, contemporary dance with flamenco. Like so I would say it keeps. So if you tell me what is flamenco, is a very hard question because if you are the if the people who are purists means the people who started with more the traditional form, they would say that okay, beyond a certain level of experimentation or self-expression, I won't call this flamenco anymore. Well, the people who experiment a lot until sometimes you're not sure whether it's contemporary dance or flamenco anymore, or or half. You would say that flamenco is evolving anyway, so you cannot say that this is flamenco and this is not flamenco. So it's a debatable question. I mean, yeah.
Wow. And to come to think of
Because
it,
now flamenco is growing.
yeah, yeah. It's evolving and it's growing. And it's so true. It is so important to keep the originality of it. And I think we have people and experts like you to hold it together. And surprisingly, to come up think of it, we think of, at least I personally think of flamenco as only dance. But music is so integral part to it. I mean, if there was no music and
Yes, yes.
I don't think flamenco dance, as you
No
said, the
dance.
dance
Yeah.
came in the end. And I never knew that it meant wandering undesirables. Wow, we have grown so rich today in knowledge. So, in keeping with the time, Daphne, if it's okay, I will leave your intense, passionate the showcase of yours towards the end, or even if you don't have time, I'm just
Yes, sure. Yeah.
I think we'll move
And
in.
you can show it towards the end.
Yeah. So, keeping with the time, would we love to go into the part where you're going to show us now the doing and
Okay.
partaking of the steps and the sequence? Is that okay? Do you need some
Okay.
time to set up? If you need,
I'm okay. I'm trying to position so that I can be seen better.
okay, okay. Should I ask our my youngsters here to be sitting or standing? How do you like to be? Are they okay?
The first thing I'm going to teach, I will teach everybody a very very short sequence. But in this very short sequence, I'll try to introduce a lot of the basics. Okay,
Sounds
so
good.
first thing, yeah, the first part you can sit because the first part we're only going to learn the clap. Oh, I forgot. You asked me what flamenco was a mixture of, right? So it's mixture of the traditionals, voice, guitar, and dance. But there's another part. The fourth thing is rhythm, hand clapping. That's a hand clapping to rhythm. Okay, so that's an
Love
important
to
part
learn. Yeah,
of
yeah.
flamenco. So
Exciting.
what we're going to learn today, flamenco actually has forms that have 12 beats, but also have forms that have 4 and 8 beats. We call it 8 beat cycle. So we're going to learn the 8 beat cycle because it's easier for today. Okay, so it's very easy because 8 beat cycle. Most of the modern songs are in 8 beats, so it's easy to understand the rhythm. So in the first beat, we are not going to clap the first beat. We are just going to put the foot down. Okay, so like this. So you just stamp your foot, Okay, that's the first beat. So we have foot, clap, clap, clap. So you're going to put your hands together like this. Yeah, and you're going to clap 3 times. Okay, so go foot, clap, 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 foot, clap, 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 foot, clap, 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 foot, clap, clap, clap. Okay, how do we count it? We can count it in cycles of 8. So we go 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we're going to do 4 cycles of 8. On the 4th cycle, because we're going to change the steps soon, if we're going to change, that means we need to transit from the clapping to doing something else. Usually we stop on 7. Okay, so now we're going to practice stopping on 7. So on the 4th cycle, we're going to do this: 4, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, we stop on 7, so we have 1 silent beat. Okay. Okay, now we're going to put variation. Instead of single beats like this, we are going to go the first half a double beat on 2. So it goes like that: 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, so it's fast, fast, slow, slow. And the second half, we're going to do single: 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's only on the first half. So we again: 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, remember I said on this the 4th one we're going to close because we're going to start a step. Okay, let's try again. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now let me try if you all can hear an app that I'm going to use that gives you the rhythm. Okay. Can you hear that? Slow a bit.
Can everybody else hear?
Can you hear the music? 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. Okay, good. Okay, now that we've done this one 4 times, let's practice. Okay, there are 2 types of clap. This is called soda, means it's dull. Okay, when it makes a dull sound. Okay, is the hands are cupped together. It's called soda, means a dull. There's another type of clap. Makes a very loud sound. Okay, we call it seka. It's a loud sound. This one, you probably have to kind of practice a bit by yourself to find how to make it, because you have, if you're right-handed, you hit the right towards the left. You have to find a space on this palm that traps a little bit of air, little bit. If it's flat, you won't make a sharp sound. You have to trap a little bit of air, and you're going to make a loud sound like this. It's very loud. So we can do the same thing with the loud sound. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, can you see the quality is very different, right? Okay, now we're going to go practice again. We're going to do 4/8 with the dull sound and 4/8 with a sharp sound. Okay. Ready? Okay, now we're going to do the dance steps. Okay, I'm just going to see, because my setup here is not that. I'll try to see if y'all can see me. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's not too important to see my face, but you should be able to see my hands. Okay, and later when I put it further away, you should be able to see. Okay, let me try if you can see my legs. Okay, so you can see my hands. I need my glasses so I can see you. Okay, so we're going to I'm just going to show you the hand movements first. Okay, in 8 counts. Now we are mirror image, right? So you're going to do your right hand. Okay, right hand. I'm going to do my left hand. You're going to do your right hand. 1, 2, and then come back. 3, 4, and then out here in front of you, palms outside. You're going to make a circle here. Circle the wrist around and come back. Outside, circle the wrist around and come back. Outside, circle the wrist around and come back. Again, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, after doing 2 of these, we're going to go up high like this. You can see me here. We're just going to go up this way. 1, 2, and then come down. 3, 4. Here. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, good. Okay, now we're going to do again. Ready, and okay, low first. Okay, ready, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. Up. 3, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 4, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now the legs. Can you see my legs? And be further away. Okay. We're going to use our right foot in front a little bit. Step. Okay, I'm going to show you the legs alone. Okay, I'm going to show you the legs alone, okay? So that it's easier for you. The right leg is going to step forward a little bit. It's 1, 2. And then it's come back the same place. 3, 4. Now the left leg steps forward. 5, 6. And then come back the same place. 7, 8. It's important that your knees are not totally straight like that. Okay, in flamenco, it's a bit like Indian dance. We need to bend our knees. Not as much as Indian dance, but just slightly flex. Okay, so ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, got that? Okay, let's try if we can do it with the music. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me slightly slower. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 4, Everyone got that? Okay, now let's try to do the arms and the legs together, okay? In the screen, you might not be able to see my legs fully, but I'm also, together with the right arm, I'm doing my right leg, okay? Let me see if I can shift it further so you can see. Okay, now you can see, right? Without seeing my head, my body, my face. Right arm and right leg together, okay? So I go 1, 2, then come back 3, 4, okay? Then left leg and left arm together, 5, 6, then come back together, 7, 8, again, 2, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, just be careful. I notice the arms. Our arms, when we're going to put in front of us like this, we're going to turn the wrist without moving the elbow. Now when you turn the wrist, I see you're moving the elbow down. The elbow doesn't drop. It's only a wrist movement without elbow. Wrist. Okay, open the palm. Wrist. You turn. The palm is this way. You turn one circle, and then you open up, and then you just come back in this way. Okay, again, this side, like this. Without dropping the elbow, you're going to turn the wrist. You can, as you turn the wrist, you can open the fingers. Okay, but the most important part is the wrist movement. Turn the wrist without dropping the elbow, and then come back in. Okay, that part is, yeah. Okay, so we try again with the first 2 steps. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? After these 2 times, we're going to change. Remember the high one? Same. Right leg and right hand. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Let's try again. 2 low, 2 8s low, and 2 8s high. Ready? 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 2, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, high. 3, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 4, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. Okay, so if you notice me, now the third thing we need to add on top of the arms and the limbs is the head movement. Okay, the head movement. When I'm going to the right, now I'm going to turn my head to the right. 1, 2, and then when I come back to the center, my head comes back to the center. Okay, now when I go to the left, my head turns to the left. Here, 3, 4, and then when I come back center. So it looks like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now the next one, I'm going to go high. When I go high, my eyes follow my hands. Okay, to the right, high. Now I'm going to go 1, 2, and then when I return, my eyes return to the center. 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this one I'm going to go up this way, pluck something. You turn the wrist. As you pluck, you turn the wrist. After you turn the wrist, you just bring it down this way. Same here, pluck something, turn the wrist, and then you're going to bring it down. Okay, now let's try only this step with the music. Okay, with the music it's faster. Okay, it's faster. Give it. Okay, I'll try to make it slightly slower. Okay, ready? 1. Ready? 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, Okay, I think we have time to learn one more step from this. Let's do a side step. Okay, the side step, I'm going to show you the legs first, okay? Okay, the legs are going to go this. You're going to go to the right, okay? So you're going to go this, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now you're going to go to the left, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the same leg starts again to the right, 3, 2, 3, 4. Then now the left leg goes to the left, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, they'll take small steps. Ready, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 2, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 3, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 4, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. Okay, everyone got that? Okay, if you get that, now our arms, we're going to do very simple arms, okay? But this is important. If you're going to go towards the right, our head is going to go to the right, our eyes go to the right, and our hands, yeah, exactly like that, are always opposite. Okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then on the fourth one, you have to change. 4. We have to change. Okay, change. That means our head is turning to the left now, and your arms are the same. And then we change this side. 5, 6, 7. Change. Okay, we're going to change on the fourth beat. Now again. 2, 2, 3. Change. 5, 6, 7, and change. 3, 2, 3, change. 5, 6, 7, change. 4, 2, 3, change. 5, 6, 7, change. Okay, everyone got that? You're not too confused? Let's try again. Okay, so when you go towards the right, your eyes and your skirt is the opposite, okay? The skirt is always opposite, or your arms are always opposite where your head is. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, and change. 5, 6, 7, and change. 2, 2, 3, and change. 5, 6, 7, and change. 4, 2, 3, and change. 5, 6, 7, and change. 4, 2, 3, change. 5, 6, 7, change. Okay, everyone got that? Okay, now the last step we're going to do today is very simple. Your arms are going to go up this way. You're just going to have one arm high like that, and all you're going to do, can you see my wrist? I'm turning inwards. My wrist keeps turning inwards all the time, like that. And I'm just going to open my fingers. Open. You can spread your fingers by putting your third and thumb together, so it becomes like a flower. Every time you want to spread, you put this, it becomes like a flower. And then when you curl, you just curl like that. Curl like a ball and open again. Okay, so it's like filigrana. Curl and open. Curl and open. You can practice this at home. It's the same thing, whether it's 1 or 2 fingers. Okay, in this exercise, the last part of the dance, we're going to use 1 finger to keep doing the curls, and we're going to curl every 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now the step is very easy. If you've done this type of steps before, we're just going to go like that. Okay, but the legs are just going to walk around in a circle. This is what the legs do. The legs do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the legs are going to just walk in a circle, always with one side, the right side being stronger. Okay, so it looks like this together with the arms like this. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2,
Ano mga ko
6, 7, 8.
Flamenco.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we finish. Okay, now I know there's a lot, but no worry, you all have it, so you can practice them very slowly. Just very slowly. Let's try to do everything that we've done today. We have actually done 3 dance steps, including the clapping, right? Okay, so we're going to go. I'm going to see if the music is. Okay, we're going to do 4/8 of the clap and go into the dance. Okay. The claps first. 5, 6, 7, and 1. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 4. 5, 6, 7, and 1. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2. 5, 6, 7, 3. 5, 6, 7, and 4. 5, 6. Now the side step. 1, 2, 3, change. 5, 6, 7, change. 2, 2, 3, change. 5, 6, 7, change. 3, 2, 3, change. 5, 6, 7, change. 4, 2, 3, change. 5, 6, 7. Now around. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and 2. 5, 6, 7, and 3. 5, 6, 7, and 4. 5, 6, 7, and. Okay, everyone got that?
Yes, we all got that.
So you have the videos. You can practice a little bit. This I know there's a lot to. I gave a lot in a very short time. So I did, but it's I have to go for a class now. So I'll leave you to watch the video. But I love to hear from you. Maybe through Jacinta, you can give me your feedback. What you think? Let me know if you enjoyed flamenco.
We loved it, Daphne. We surely loved it. We are left wanting for more. So we're definitely going to get the basics right. And let's unmute ourselves and say a quick bye to Daphne because she has to roll along for her class. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for Daphne.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we wish you all the best, Daphne. We'll stay in touch. With all our love from India.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very well explained.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
The
Take
video.
care.
See you again. See you again.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. It was
Bye.
lovely.